Knock, knock. Guess who? You may know me. I'm your constant companion. I'm your greatest helper, or I can leave you in the mud, stuck, standing. I will push you onward and take you to greener pastures, or drag you down and spoon feed you all you can eat disasters. I'm at your command. Half the tasks you do, you might as well turn them over to me. I'm able to do them quickly. I walk outside with you each time you leave the front door. My actions can bring an encore or be an eyesore. I'm easily managed. All you have to do is be firm with me. Show me exactly how you want it done, and I will do it automatically. I'm the servant of the greatest shakers and movers, and the servant of the greatest losers. You may run me for profit, or you may run me to ruin. It makes no difference to me, because you're the ship and I'm the captain. I determine how fast or slow we'll be cruising. Be resolute with me, and I'll put the world at your feet. Be careless with me, and I'll throw you in the ocean with shoes made of concrete. Guess who? I am habit. I'm here today to provide you the tools on developing habits you need to become successful and not a victim of yourself. My concern is about you, the person, and not the basketball player. Just like you, I'm passionate about basketball. I was a starter on the varsity high school team from the 10th grade to the 12th grade year. My senior year, went to the Final Four in California. And after that, got a basketball scholarship in NCAA. Now, just like me, I want you to be like me. And that is by being passionate about self-improvement off the basketball court. I want you to be successful in life. I want for you to prepare for your future by creating it today. I don't want you to foul out in the game of life. I once read, if you were to die, what one lesson you would pass on to your friends and family? And many thoughts went into my head on what that would be. To help me decide what that would be, I ended up going through my old photos of growing up in Oakland. And after reflecting on my life, I realized that the most impactful message I can pass on, it will be this. Remember this. When you change, everything else will change. Now, as I looked at my old photos, I came across my old 7th grade or 8th grade basketball picture. And I shook my head. I started to laugh because as I was looking at these photos, I can't believe that we used to wear these little ooh baby shorts. So small. I mean, the underwear I have on right now is longer than what we used to play in. You'll never catch me anything like that again. But anyhow, and so I started looking at the pictures closely, and I started to reflect on how I grew up. And I came across some photos. I remember of Robert. I used to spend the night at his house, and we did a lot of things together. But in high school, he dropped out. Right after his mom died, he started to sell drugs and ended up dying on the same corner where he sold drugs. Mike, I grew up with from like 4th grade all the way to high school. And we played football together as well. And in football, he got player of the year. But he dropped out as well to go sell drugs. And my football season, we won actually championships in basketball and football. And Mike was getting all types of letters from schools interested in him. But right after football season, he told me English class, man, I need to get some money. I'm about to leave school. And I remember him saying he doesn't want to work at McDonald's because everybody around him, where he lived, was making quick money. So that's what he did. He left. I saw him, last time I saw him, I was driving down the street, and he was on the corner. I got out of my car, and he had all type of crack in his mouth. He would have it in his mouth so that when the police come, he can swallow or spit it out so he has no evidence. And then about a month after that, I got a call, like 6 a.m. Got woken up by a friend of mine. Said Mike got shot. There was a dice game. Someone came and robbed the dice game. He got shot with a 12 gauge in the face. He was 19. There's a lot of different stories that I have, probably like a lot of the people who grew up in the inner city. And it's a sad thing. It is. It's a very sad thing. I also think about another friend that I had that I haven't seen in a long time. And I ended up taking him to his friend's house. And while we're driving down the street, he said, "Hey, man, remember that store right there?" "Nah, remember when you did that drive-by?" I was like, "Nah, it wasn't me, man." He said, "Oh, yeah, yeah, that was so-and-so." And I'm in the car tripping like, wow. And I found out that my friend, anyhow, I can go on and talk about all that stuff, but that's not the purpose of that, to just for me to relive my past and everything. The purpose of me talking to you right now is to give you some information so that you can be better in life. So what happened to me? Why am I here even speaking to you? Well, I'm going to tell you. It's when you change, everything else will change. For me personally, I changed so much that I started my own company, and I ended up writing a book called Basketball to Success: How to Be the Prepared Student Athlete and Not Foul Out in the Game of Life. Growing up, I never went to bookstores. I never read. But as I said, when I changed, everything else changed. I'm an author now. Well, never thought about it. Never said, hey, I never had a goal of writing a book. But things changed. And then when they happened, I changed along with it. I want to tell you a unique story. I bought an autobiography by this guy named Lakes in Cairo. He was from Africa, and he was so serious about learning and growing, and that he reached success because when he changed, everything else changed. He was so hungry for American college education that he walked 2,500 miles from his village looking for an opportunity to go to college. Yes, you heard me, 2,500 miles. That is like walking from San Francisco to Atlanta. He said both his parents couldn't write their own names. They could not count past 20. The school that he went to cost 6 pennies. His parents had to save to get that money. That's how broke they were. At school, there were no pens, no paper, no books. They did their homework. They did all their work by using their finger on the ground, right in the dirt. Lakeson didn't like going to school. He tried to quit, but his parents made him go because of the money that they invested. And over time, he had opportunity when he got to high school to get a scholarship, which is about 200 miles away from where he grew up in his village. In that school, he had a uniform, and that uniform had a badge on it that said, "I will try." And "I will try" is actually the name of his autobiography. So putting the school's "I will try" motto, the slogan, to action, he discovered that education was his way out of poverty. He read every book that he could find about America. He liked books about Booker T. Washington, Abraham Lincoln. By reading these books, he realized that America was the place he needed to go for freedom and for independence. He told himself that one day he would go to college. He said, quote, "Young men grow up with no schooling, no work, and they become thieves and damage the country. I wanted to do better," he said. After high school one day, he asked his mother if he can go to America for school. Without knowing where America was, she gave him permission. Before she found out how far it was, he left the next day, October 14th, 1958. He was barefoot, had a map, an axe. He had on his uniform with the "I will try" badge. His goal was to go from village to village, seeking work and food as he went. He wanted to go to Egypt and get on a boat and work for his fare to get to America. Now, yes, that's a huge goal, but he did not doubt that he can reach it. When he left, he said that the American continent for him was no more than a legend heard by someone who had heard about it from someone else. He reflected on how he used to dislike school, how he used to cut school, how he quit a couple of times, and now here he was, he said, giving up all to run after which I had once disliked, for a journey that originated with a greediness for learning. You see, once again, when he changed, everything else changed. Now on his journey, of course he got scared. He was worried a lot of the times. But in that process, he kept reminding himself of the stories he read about in those books. And he vowed to keep his dream, his vision of where he wanted to be. Kept it in his forefront. For 1 year, he just continued to go from village to village through dry seasons, hot seasons, jungles. There's a lot of animals, in Africa. Wild animals, hyenas, lions. And not only that, not everyone speaks the same language. So think about trying to communicate to people, trying to work. But somehow he found a way. Looking for a place to sleep at night, looking for food. Throughout those hardships, he would always repeat what was on his shirt. I will try, I will try, I will try. 2 months after leaving, he said this, quote, "It was Christmas. People were rejoicing, but I was thinking of my trip and America. I will get there. I said maybe 2 years, 3, 4, or 5, but I will get there." He had a huge resolve to get there. Now, this part I'm about to read to you is actually, I have to read it verbatim. I can't paraphrase it because it's powerful. And this is what he said. He said, quote, "I would argue with myself that it was better that I should return home and live and laugh and talk about my failure and perhaps make a better plan and a better arrangement than keep on pushing and possibly die of an illness on the road. I even argued that others will learn about my futility of undertaking such an adventure without any more provisions that I had. After all, if I returned to my college, who would really care whether I had an academic regalia and a piece of paper saying that I had a degree from American college, or even a humble diploma? It would not make any real difference. My father had lived his whole life without being able to write his own name. My mother, to use her word, was blind when it came to print. After all, they were the same people I'll be living with in the village who maintained that an educated person was lazy, that he could not build a house or do any manual work with his hands. But regardless of whether or not it made any difference with a degree or a diploma or neither, I could not really stand the ridicule arising from my cowardice. I would have not only failed my goal, but also embarrassed the model of my beloved school. I will try." Unquote. Now, in his journey, one day he was at a library, American library at that. He said that where you can check out books for free. He went there, came across a book, didn't know what the word meant, and then he ended up looking for a dictionary. Instead, he found a book for American colleges. So he decided, I'm going to write every single college in here, because he heard that they give scholarships. So that's what he did. He wrote, and one got back with him in Washington State, and they offered him a scholarship, and he ended up going. And he saved his last money to buy some shoes because he said he didn't want to go to America barefoot. In all, it took him 2 years to walk that 2,500 miles. 2 years. He said that when God has put an impossible dream in your heart, He means for it to help you fulfill it. And I believe this to be true. When as an African bush boy, I felt compelled to be an American college graduate. Now, what can you learn from this story? Well, you can apply anything in life by having the 3D principle that I believe. 1, you have to have desire. 2, determination. And 3, dedication. But what kills me is that, as we know with basketball players, you get a free ride sometimes when you go to school. We know it's not free. There's a lot of work. It's like having a job when you're playing basketball. But even in high school or in college, people have resources, and they just let it go. They take the easy road. And here I have somebody like Lakeson who's walked 2,500 miles just to go to college. And there are people who go to school and do whatever, but they just loaf around and be lazy in school. And later on down the life, they're broke as a joke and can't do nothing. They have no career to fall back on, nothing. Because in the real world, no one cares about how many points you scored, how many wins your team got. It's all about right now, what can you provide? Now, success is to know what you want, and it is to get it. It is predictable. It's not an accident. The fastest way to success is to find people who are getting results that you want. You have to study them. You have to copy, paste, and tweak what worked in their lives. And if you do what they do over and over again, you'll get what they get over and over again. So learn from the experts. Go to seminars. Let's say, for example, you want to be an architect. What does that mean? That means you need to subscribe to architect journals, find conferences, find people who's already doing it, see if you can have an informative interview with somebody. You got to take charge. You are responsible for your life. Learning requires new actions, not just new information. Now, everybody wants to be successful, but it doesn't come to you. You got to go to success. You have to find it, get in a headlock. It's up to you. It is up to you. As I said and will continue to say, when you change, everything else will change. But in order for you to reach massive success, you have to change 3 essential things. Now, the first thing is your thoughts. You are what you think about most of the time. Just like you are what you eat, you are what you think. You get what you think you deserve, and because your thinking predicts your actions, how you think is how you act. If you say it's a lousy day, if you think it's a lousy day, it doesn't matter if you say it or think. It's too cold. I don't feel like dealing with people. I'm in a bad mood. Everything you say will match up to how you feel, what you say to yourself, what you think about. What you think about controls what you focus on. And what you focus on expands. It doesn't matter if it's negative. It doesn't matter if it's positive, true, or false. You get what you look for. All right, let me prove it to you. Right now, look around where you are right now and look for everything that has a color brown. Go ahead. Start looking. Look for brown. Turn your head. Start looking. Look for brown. 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 Go ahead. Look. Identify what you see. All right, now close your eyes. Really, close your eyes. And I want you to say out loud everything that you saw that was blue. Okay. All right, now open your eyes now. Now look for blue, look for blue, look for blue, look for blue, look for blue. Did you get why you found more blue? It was because you get what you focus on. What you focus on expands. What you focus on longer becomes stronger. The blue is always there. The brown has always been there. But it's all about what you focus on. And so with your thoughts, how you focusing? If you're on a boat, you can't control the wind, can't control the waves. The only thing you can do is control your sail. And that sail is your thoughts. That's so key. Now, for you to be successful, you really have to eliminate all the type of negative thinking that's out there. Don't say or think, I don't know how to. Don't say I can't. Don't say I wish I could. I need to. I ought to. I'm trying. I know I should. I wish I could. That's not going to move you. You're going to be stuck. Instead, you say to yourself, I must. Say I choose. Say I can. I will. Say if it's to be, it's up to me. Say when I focus, I get what I want. It's up to you. Change your thoughts. You will change your life. You are where your thoughts have brought you, and tomorrow you'll be where your thoughts will take you. Now, the second thing for you to realize is goals. People with goals succeed, and those that don't have goals won't, period. Goals determine your destination, just like a ship leaving a harbor or an airplane leaving. The journey is all mapped out. You got to figure out where you are, where you want to go. The destination is key. Without knowing where you're going, the ship, the airplane won't leave. It's like the GPS. Now go ask 5 people you know what their 1-year goal is for this year, or their monthly goal. Some may think about it for a long time. and may give you an answer, but it's a specific. But this is what you do. You say, okay, what are you specifically doing to reach that goal? If someone were to ask you right now, what is your goal? What's your goal? And what are you doing to reach that goal? Now, if you can recite it on the spot, that shows that you're serious. So if I were able to wake you up 2 a.m, say, hey, what's your goal? What's your goal? What's your goal for this year? What's your goal for this year? You should be able to spit it out effortlessly. Your goals are the blueprint for your life. They are the preview of your life's coming attractions. Increase your ability to create goals and achieve goals. Without goals, you will live problem to problem rather than opportunity to opportunity. Motivation will get you started, but it's your habits will keep you going and how you spend your time. You can't hit a target you can't see. If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Knowing goals and how to accomplish it is key. You have to organize your life around the goals that you want. They have to be clear. Now, in regards to goals in life, there's a key principle that I once learned. It's called the be, do, have. And it goes like this. So you need to structure some goals around these 3 areas. And then one is, in life, what do you want to be? The second one, in life, what do you want to do? The third one, in life, what do you want to have? The be, do, have. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? And the last part of the 3 essential things that I told you need to be aware of is vision. Visualizing your goals accomplished, achieved. So far we talked about the right thinking, having the goals to push you. Now it's visualizing. I once read about a study that a university did for basketball players to determine the effects of visualization on performance. And they were using free throws as a measure. So what they did is they figured out what's the person's shooting percentage right now, and then they divided up 3 groups. First group will go to the gym, practice making free throws every day for 30 days for an hour. The second group will go to the gym, but instead of picking up a basketball, they will lie on the ground and spend their time visualizing themselves making free throws. And the third group did nothing at all. 30 days later, the results came in. And as expected, the group that did not practice visualizing, they did not practice shooting, saw no improvement. And the group that did actually practice every day improved 24%. Now, the group that did not practice at all, they just laid on the ground and visualized them making the shot, they improved 23%. Now, true visualization can help you on the court, but my objective of speaking, my objective of my company, and my book, Basketball to Success, is because I'm concerned about you, the person, and not the basketball player. It's all good that, you can do a windmill, you can hit, lead the fast break and dunk from the free throw line or whatever it may be. You got handles. Okay, that's fine. But it's about life, man. I want for you to be successful off the court. So for you, when you visualize your dreams, visualize your goals being accomplished, visualize the career you want, visualize where you want to travel, the be, do, have, visualize where you want to live. See your success in your eye. Smell it, taste it, touch it, feel it. There are 4 parts of the visualization process. The first one is frequency. How often do you visualize your goal? The second part is intensity. How much emotion do you put behind that? The third part is duration. It's like, how long do you think about it? How long is that mental picture in your head? You think about it 3 minutes, 3 seconds. And the last part is vividness. How clear is it to make it a reality for you? Do you see it? Is it really clear? by creating that clarity will help. As I said before, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. So look at it like this. See the perfect outcome. Close your eyes. Say what it's going to do for you. Believe it's going to work out for you. Get the feeling that it's there for you. Now, in conclusion, knock, knock. Guess who? It's me, Basketball to Success. Can I come in? Success is to know what you want and to get it. To be successful in school, your career, your health, your finances, it's all up to you to decide what you want. Success leaves clues. You have to find it. Be the detective. You have to go out there. Seek and you shall find. It's up to you, though. You have to take charge. But the quickest way is to find out what you want and find out who's accomplishing that. And as I mentioned, learn from them. Do your best. Do your best to do so. You got to. To become someone you've never been, you have to do what you've never done before. Everything starts with you. Everything in your life, really, you have attracted. You can change your future because you can change the person you are today. It doesn't matter how old you are. When you change, everything else will change. You can design your future so that you can have a wonderful life by choice and not by chance. You can be a master of change rather than a victim of change. Today, I have gave you a lot of tips on how to become successful and not a victim of yourself. On my website, basketballtosuccess.com, you are able to get a free download of my book. But overall, it's all up to you to take charge. You can't pay anyone to do push-ups for you. You can't pay anyone to exercise for you. It's up to you. It is all up to you. You are responsible for your life, for your choices. You choose and continue to choose the direction of your life. In life, there are three types of people. The person who makes things happen, the person who watches things happen, and the person who says, hey, what happened? Now, what kind of person are you?